Hi, welcome to the quiz. You can answer along on quizalto.com, all for free. The exact URL of this quiz will be in the notes down below. Let's get started. Good luck. What is the advantage of using AWS WAF with AWS Firewall Manager? It helps manage WAF rules across multiple AWS accounts. It encrypts EC2 instance data at rest. It decreases CloudFront latency. It automates DynamoDB backups. Using AWS WAF with AWS Firewall Manager helps you manage WAF rules across multiple AWS accounts, providing centralized security management and compliance controls for your web applications. What is the benefit of using an IP match condition in AWS WAF? It speeds up web page loading times. It optimizes database storage. It increases network latency. It can help block requests from specific IP addresses. Using an IP match condition in AWS WAF can help block requests from specific IP addresses, providing users with control over which IP addresses can access their web applications. What is the function of the AWS WAF bot control rule? To automate EBS volume snapshots. To detect and mitigate automated traffic from bots. To manage security groups. To configure VPC endpoints. The AWS WAF bot control rule is designed to detect and mitigate automated traffic from bots, ensuring that your web applications are protected from unwanted bot activity that may cause harm or disrupt normal operations. What is the function of the size constraint in AWS WAF? To allow users to block requests that are too large. To restrict access based on user agent. To reduce latency for web page loading. To monitor system performance metrics. The size constraint in AWS WAF enables users to block requests that exceed a specified size limit, helping to protect web applications from oversized requests that could potentially cause performance issues. What is the benefit of using managed rules in AWS WAF? It allows users to write their own custom rules. It provides pre-configured rule sets created and maintained by AWS marketplace sellers. It increases the complexity of setting up rules. It reduces the cost of AWS WAF. Managed rules in AWS WAF provide pre-configured rule sets created and maintained by AWS marketplace sellers, offering users a quick and effective way to protect their web applications. What does an AWS WAF rule consist of? Geographical locations and IP addresses. Usernames and passwords. Conditions and actions. File extensions and MIME types. An AWS WAF rule consists of conditions and actions that define which requests are allowed or blocked based on specific criteria set by the user. What is a key benefit of using AWS WAF with Amazon CloudFront? It helps protect against DDoS attacks at the edge. It automates EC2 instance backups. It reduces S3 storage costs. It provides direct access to underlying servers. Using AWS WAF with Amazon CloudFront helps protect against DDoS attacks at the edge, filtering traffic before it reaches your origin server and improving the overall security posture of your applications. What is the purpose of the managed rule set feature in AWS WAF? To encrypt all web traffic. To increase network bandwidth. To optimize database storage. To provide pre-configured rule sets created and maintained by AWS marketplace sellers. The Managed Rule Set feature in AWS WAF provides users with pre-configured rule sets created and maintained by AWS Marketplace sellers, offering users ready-to-use rules to protect their web applications against common threats and exploits. What is the traffic filtering feature of AWS WAF called? Web ACL, HTTP filter, traffic inspector, packet sniffer. The traffic filtering feature of AWS WAF is called a Web ACL, which allows users to define rules and conditions to control access to their web applications and APIs. What is the purpose of IP sets in AWS WAF? To manage EBS volumes. To create lists of IP addresses for access control. To enable Route 53 health checks. To configure CloudFormation templates. IP sets in AWS WAF are used to create lists of IP addresses that can be referenced in Web ACLs for access control decisions. What is the purpose of the cross-site scripting match condition in AWS WAF? To block or allow requests that contain XSS patterns in specified parts of the request. To monitor the time of day for web requests. To compress web response data. To optimize images for faster loading. The cross-site scripting match condition in AWS WAF is used to block or allow requests that contain XSS patterns in specified parts of the request, helping to prevent attacks that manipulate client-side scripts on web applications. What kind of protection does AWS WAF offer against SQL injection attacks? Protection from malware attacks. Protection from physical theft of data. Protection from social engineering attacks. Protection from SQL injection attacks by inspecting incoming web requests. AWS WAF offers protection from SQL injection attacks by inspecting incoming web requests and blocking those that contain potential SQL injection patterns. What is the function of the size constraint condition in AWS WAF? To optimize SSL certificates. To monitor server uptime. To compress web response data. To check the size of a specified part of a web request. The size constraint condition in AWS WAF allows users to check the size of a specified part of a web request, enabling them to control the size of incoming requests and block excessively large requests. What is the purpose of a rule group in AWS WAF? To group together related rules for easier management. To automate SageMaker model training. To manage IAM user permissions. To monitor S3 bucket activity. A rule group in AWS WAF is used to group together related rules that define the criteria for web request inspection and allow for easier management and organization of rules. What is the purpose of a Web ACL in AWS WAF? To monitor website performance metrics. To define rules to filter web requests based on IP addresses, HTTP headers, or URI strings. To create user authentication for web applications. To cache website content for faster load times. A Web ACL in AWS WAF is used to define rules to filter web requests based on IP addresses, HTTP headers, or URI strings, allowing users to control access to their web applications. What is the purpose of the AWS WAF Geo Match rule? To allow or block requests based on the geographic location of the client IP address. To encrypt data in transit. To automate S3 bucket replication. To configure VPC peering connections. The AWS WAF geo-match rule is used to allow or block requests based on the geographic location of the client IP address, providing granular control over access based on location. What is an IP set in AWS WAF used for? To monitor website visitor behavior. To encrypt data in transit. To allow or block IP addresses from accessing web applications. To reduce network latency. An IP set in AWS WAF is used to allow or block specific IP addresses from accessing web applications, providing users with control over who can access their web resources. What is the purpose of an AWS managed rules set for AWS WAF? To provide pre-configured rule sets created and maintained by AWS marketplace sellers. To increase network bandwidth. To restrict database access. To optimize cloud storage. An AWS managed rule set for AWS WAF provides users with pre-configured rule sets created and maintained by AWS marketplace sellers, offering users ready-to-use rules to protect their web applications against common threats and exploits. What is the purpose of a country-based rule in AWS WAF? To encrypt all incoming traffic. To optimize images based on country of origin. To compress web request headers. To allow or block traffic from specific countries. A country-based rule in AWS WAF is used to allow or block traffic from specific countries, providing users with granular control over which geographic locations can access their web applications. Where does AWS WAF inspect web requests? At the database level. At the edge locations, such as CloudFront distributions and application load balancers. At the origin server. At the client device level. AWS WAF inspects web requests at the edge locations, such as CloudFront distributions and application load balancers, before they reach the origin server. What is a common use case for the AWS WAF rate-based rule? Protecting against HTTP flood attacks. Managing Route 53 DNS settings. Automating ECS cluster deployments. Configuring VPC peering connections. A common use case for the AWS WAF rate-based rule is protecting web applications against HTTP flood attacks by setting limits on the number of requests that can be made within a certain time frame to prevent overwhelming traffic. What is the advantage of using a managed rule group in AWS WAF? It increases network latency. It encrypts data in transit. It simplifies the deployment of advanced protection for web applications. It optimizes database queries. A managed rule group in AWS WAF simplifies the deployment of advanced protection for web applications by providing pre-configured rule sets for common threats and exploits, allowing users to quickly enhance the security of their web applications. Where does AWS WAF inspect web requests? At the client device level. At the database level. At the edge locations, such as CloudFront distributions and application load balancers. At the origin server. AWS WAF inspects web requests at the edge locations, such as CloudFront distributions and application load balancers, before they reach the origin server. What is the primary benefit of using AWS WAF managed rules for application load balancers? It provides direct access to underlying EC2 instances. It simplifies the process of configuring rules for your load balancers. It reduces data transfer charges. It increases the cost of load balancer operations. Using AWS WAF managed rules for application load balancers simplifies the process of configuring rules for your load balancers, ensuring that your applications are protected against common web threats. How does AWS WAF help protect against SQL injection attacks? By limiting the number of concurrent connections. By blocking all HTTP requests. By inspecting and filtering web requests for malicious SQL code. By encrypting all web traffic. AWS WAF helps protect against SQL injection attacks by inspecting and filtering web requests for any malicious SQL code that may be used to exploit vulnerabilities in web applications. And that's a wrap. Thanks to everyone who participated. Remember, you can answer along on quizalto.com, where you can keep track of your progress and find much more quizzes. We hope you had a fun and challenging time. Until next time. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more. Hit the bell icon to be notified as soon as we upload. Please leave a comment if you have any thoughts or suggestions, and if you think this video is worth sharing with someone who could benefit from it, please forward a link to them. See you next time. Thanks for watching.